The thing is, we all know cold calling is hard, right? No one wants to pick up the phone. No one wants to get rejected hundreds of times. But the problem is cold calling being hard is the point of it. That's why it works. It sucks. And that's why no one does it. And that's why it performs way better than any other channel, right? You get rejected over and over again, and most people quit just because of that. And I get it. I get it fully. I've done thousands of cold calls, and still to this day, I dread picking up the phone and doing it. And let me tell you something as a quick reality check, that will never go away, ever. All right. So if you're sitting there in hopes that if you just dial enough and it will get easier, of course it gets easier, but it will never stop being unenjoyable. That's just the reality of it. But the people who stick with it get paid the most and have the highest conversion rates of any outbound channel. All right. So if you actually have the guts to stick to it and go through the pain of doing it, then you will get amazing results. To get the same amount of meetings booked from emails or DMs or any other channel, you need to send at least 10 times more, at least, if not 50 times more, right? And that's for positive replies. If you want to book meetings, the gap is even bigger, all right? So you have higher conversion with lower volume, whereas other channels, you need high volume and you have lower conversion. Now, I'm not saying cold email doesn't work, and I'll get to that in a second, because the system that we use is something where you combine emails and cold calls. And this is what I suggest you do. You need to run this at the same time. All right. So you send tens of thousands of emails per day. That's what you do. And then everyone who replies positively gets called within 5 minutes. And everyone else that doesn't reply still gets cold called. And if you do this, you will catch everyone. All right. And that way you combine these things, because you do a lot of volume, because emails are much easier to scale volume wise. You just send more emails. Whereas if you want to do more cold calls, you need to hire, which is difficult. And by the way, I made a whole video on hiring. So if you go on my channel, search for the video, how to build a sales team, it's going to show you all of that. It's the most recent one. Anyways, so if you combine these, then you get best of both worlds, right? So you have cold email at scale. You send tens of thousands per day. That's ideally what you want to do. And then when you get positive replies, then you call those within 5 minutes, and you spend 70% of your time roughly on only these. All right. If it's 100% of your time, that's great, but usually it won't be. Okay. But this is like your priority on this side. And then the people who don't reply, once you're done with these leads, then you just cold call. All right. So you sit there. Every time a new lead comes in, you call them right away. And as soon as the phone call is done, if you have no other leads, you go on normal cold calls. And so you're constantly switching between warm and cold calls, which means you reach everyone in the shortest amount of time, the best and most effective way possible, right? So at the end, you get booked meetings with maximum efficiency. And why is calling within 5 minutes so important? Well, ideally, you want the highest booking rates possible. And this diagram shows it pretty well. So here we have booking rate on the left, right? And here on this axis, we have time after positive reply. We can see this window where within 5 minutes, your booking rate is roughly 80% or more, all right? And if you wait longer than 5 minutes, it rapidly drops until you're at like 20. And then if you wait a few days, then it drops to, I don't know, some very low number. And so this is the single most high leverage thing you can do. It's just be ready when you get a new lead. It's so important. I cover it so many times, yet I see so many businesses not doing this. They have hundreds of inbound leads sitting in their inbox and they're not calling them. You're missing out. All right. Even if you have to hire a full-time person to just sit there and call new leads without doing cold calling, they just sit and wait. Then if you want 4x the results, I think that's worth it. All right.